Yo, we got JC coming up. He's going to be speaking live out of Atlanta. We're going to be finding out all about him because it's the first time he's been on the show and find out what he's all about. He's like kind of like an R&B artist. If you guys are online, check out the Facebook page. It's HopeJamz Radio on Facebook, and also on Twitter, it's 70x7 Music. So you can always check out the pages, find out what's going on with HopeJamz. Always post up new music, not just the people that could be on the show, but also post up people in the scene. And this is like worldwide, you know. Anyway, so let's get in with JC right now, find out what's up. How you doing, man?
Hey, yo. What's good, man? I'm good.
Yeah, man. Welcome to HopeJamz, man. First time on HopeJamz. How you doing today?
Man, I'm good, man. It's hot in Atlanta.
That's good, man.
Other than that, man, blessed, man.
Yeah, man. Well, yeah, welcome to HopeJamz, like I say. First time you've been on, man. And like I was kind of introing you as an R&B artist. Would it be fair to say that?
Yeah, I actually am R&B. I like to introduce myself just as a songwriter because I'm primarily a songwriter. I've written for a lot of different artists, but that's kind of my approach to music. My genre is R&B, but for example, the single that I have out is a little more urban R&B. So at times it's almost like a rap singy. You have so many rappers doing the singing thing now, it can be confused with like, oh, well, maybe he's a rapper, but like I do like R&B, But I do a little bit of everything. I'm from Nashville, so I've written country, I do gospel, I do pop, a little bit of everything. So
yeah, that sounds cool, man. It's good to mix and match a little bit. So
yeah,
tell us, man, how did you get into the scene? How did you get into doing what you do?
Oh man, well, I've been doing music for over 20 years. I kind of just got into it from being in the singing family and being, in an area like Nashville, Tennessee is like music is real popular. It's just a certain genre of music. It's more country music and blues there, but we had a lot of live music scenes. And I started traveling with a little group when I was just a kid. We were doing acapella gospel, and then I got into doing independent artistry. But my thing with the independent artistry, or just doing solo artistry, was just trying to keep my music clean. That was always my niche because my dad's a minister. So it was like I wasn't even allowed to do a certain type of music anyway. So I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll just do it this way. So it started with me just trying to stay out of trouble. But as I got older, I was like, it's kind of cool just to come from that angle. So instead of cussing in the lyric or saying something else in the lyric, I try to challenge myself to like think it through a little more and like, well, we could say this is still clever, it's still hip, and people like it just as much. So that's my whole angle on songwriting. So all that led to a couple record deals, and that's how I ended up in Atlanta. I was signed to Bad Boy South. Just learn the hard way how labels function and how it really works. And I've been like just an independent songwriter, production company, etc. ever since. So
wow, man. So you've been around the block a little bit with it, but
yeah, definitely.
Something that when I was watching the video to Bounce, and something that kind of caught my attention was that you put out the realness of it out there, like what it is all about. You're not afraid to show it in your video, but I like that.
No.
Like, so you say like the realness and to make yourself culturally relevant came from, like, I guess like being a young man, like you say, like you probably felt more like you wanted to cuss and stuff like that, but you felt the pressure of your dad saying like, what I mean, like that's bad kind of thing. But
yeah,
is that as a whole picture, is that the only thing that kind of made you be pushed more to creating music which is more culturally relevant?
No, to be honest, I think the more culturally relevant aspect came from just when I got into it, just realizing what the people like. And I was just, with me, like I said, I was a preacher's kid, so I was shoved in to the whole gospel world of just doing that. But I wanted to be an R&B artist because I think back more to times of like Motown, where you could do R&B and it was nothing wrong with it. You had songs like My Girl and, I Got Sunshine, all of that. Like, that's just good music. So I was like, I really just want to make good music, and it just crossed several genres, like different genres, and reach different people. So some of the more urban music I'm doing first, it's really just to lure people in and get the ear so I can make people listen to a whole nother body of work that I have that people haven't heard.
Yeah, I feel that, man. I feel that's a good thing to do, and I think that you've done it well. Like, if people are seeing the video bounce, that the kind of pretense behind it, I guess, is that you've got this woman that's kind of like wanting to hang around you, and you have to kind of say to her, like, that's kind of, the funny part of the line is when you say, like, you're saying the same thing, but you're like, yo, you ain't gotta go, you gotta bounce.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, and I've had a couple of people like ask, jokingly, even my daughter, she's like, well, if you already left, like, how are you bouncing if you're saying you don't have to leave? And I'm just telling her, well, it's a metaphor of like, that's, it's kind of like when people say, no, you don't need to be quiet. Like, nah, for real, you need to be quiet. Like, it's just extra emphasis. Like,
yeah.
No, don't take time to pack or anything. I need you to just leave now. And it's funny because people always think my song, I don't write from personal experience, which is crazy. Like, I just write off of vibes and metaphors. But I'm typically never thinking about my own life or my own relationships. It just ends up coming out that way.
Wow. That's actually more amazing, man, because after watching that video, normally people write from a personal experience. Having watched that, I would have thought you were a single guy and you were like, doing your thing.
No, not at all. Not at all, man. Like that, I didn't. The whole vibe, I'm gonna tell you, is funny. I've been doing, and that's another way I got into the artist side. Is I have a friend. It's crazy how everything just circles back around. When I was signed, I had a song that was on the radio, primarily in the southeast of the U.S., and it was spinning in regular rotation. It was called Nobody Gotta Know, and then it got out on the West Coast. And I met this guy. He was paying me to do hooks on songs, like top dollar. But we ended up becoming friends. Fast forward 7 years later, he's one of the biggest promoters on the West Coast. So he's just like, man, I need a solid opener. I need you to open some shows for me. And I'm like, bro, I'm not an artist anymore. I'm just writing. And he's like, man, well, I know you got enough. You could put together a show. I'm finna buy your ticket. I got your personal info. I'm finna fly you out. And I'm like, man, you can't make me do a show. And he's like, well, it's Lil Wayne. It's a whole tour. I was like, okay, I'll be there. Because I just, wanted the experience of being able to open for shows that big. And then that led to like a Migos run of like 9 shows. And what I noticed when I was on the road, I was getting like great reception. But I didn't have, as an R&B artist, my music was too slow. It was too many slow songs. I love a challenge, so I was like, I need something to make the crowd bounce. And so I'm listening to a track from my producer, and I'm like, something like bounce, hey, bounce. I just start vibing. Nah, you ain't got to leave your got, because now I got to make the connection to R&B. It's got to probably be about a relationship or so. And that was the song. It was like, man, like that's the whole song's like 35 minutes recording time and everything, and I did it like probably almost 2 years ago, and I'm just now releasing.
Wow, man, that's amazing.